Hi, Neptune. Alright, I'm going to start the video in just a second, but since I'm doing it live, I'm going to post it really fast out to a couple places, and then I'll get into the weekly healing messages. Give a couple people a little bit of time to get in here. And if I can save it, I'm going to save it to my YouTube channel as well. The way I have it set up, I see somebody just, gave like a thumbs up, but the way I have it set up so that I can make the video, I can't really see anything that's being said. So I do apologize for ignoring you. I will go back and read all of that later. Hi, Lisa, because now I'm seeing it on here. But let me share this real fast to a couple places, and then I'll get into the weekly healing messages, so that I know that it's out there. Because this is definitely an emotional week. And this is the beginning. Not even lying. This is the beginning. I'm going to go back and I'm going to post it to a lot of other places after. Or by chance, if you want to post it someplace, go right ahead. Share, share, share. That always is a great thing. Hi, Chrissy. Like I said, I can barely see who's on there unless it's on my thing at the moment. Just happens to be the way I have it set up. I want to share it to my page. And then I'll get into the video. But I did something to my phone that's giving me all kinds of drama. Come on, come on. Say okay so I can move on. And like I said, by all means, share, share, share. Because when the video's all done, I'll go back and I'll share it to all the other groups and stuff. And I need to pull that up because I'm going to want to look at. I do all the astrology and everything off of my phone anyway. All right. This is for the weekly healing messages for August 23rd through the 30th. Let me put my little notes over here. And because of the energies, I want to burn a little bit of sage. You can never have too much sage. Make sure to keep it all nice and clean. And I pick up a lot of energy in this room when I do these videos typically. And especially this week, there's some darker energies coming in. And they've been coming in. But I want to, I am definitely talking about August 23rd through the 30th. However, you're going to feel this energy, probably at least pieces of this energy that we're speaking about today in this video, right up until Mars goes retrograde on the 30th. Not the 30th. Mars goes retrograde on September 9th, I believe it is. And I cannot express enough that I keep telling everyone, you need to have all your affairs in order by September 9th. That is more or less getting you ahead of the ball, ahead of the game. Helping make sure you've got some of your shadow work, some of that stuff that you don't like to identify with or deal with. You want to make sure you've gotten that out of the way. By September 9th, you've addressed it, you've seen it, and you're starting to make corrections to it. Because once September 9th hits, which is when Mars goes retrograde, Mars is your warrior. He's our inner warrior, our inner SWAT team, our inner belly dancer. I say this a million times. And, well, in Aries, he's home. But I don't know how else to put this. Mars finally returned home. He's got an extra long stay at home because he's about to go retrograde, where he's going to kind of feel depleted. He's going to lose all of his energy. He's going to feel, deflated is the word I'm looking for. He's going to feel somewhat of deflated after September 9th. And that's because he's in retrograde. Your inner warrior is only going to be talking to you. However, the inner warrior just came home. You know, he's been here for a while. But let me help make sure you're getting it through your head properly. That inner warrior, that inner SWAT team, that inner belly dancer that makes you feel good about your sacral chakra, ever since he's gotten home, with all the other planets that are home, it's like the warrior should have returned to, planet of the warriors, planet of, those who are courageous and in power and feel good about themselves, the warrior spirit. But when he got home, he's got Chiron there, he's got Eris there, he's got Eris, which is who I always call Medusa, Lilith there. So it's kind of like, well, when he finally got to make his reunion home, he made a reunion home to the magical, and I do mean magical, insane asylum. I mean, it's like, I look at Eris, trouble, toil, strife, injustice, as the best way of putting it in energy is Medusa. But another way of looking at it is for those who like, all those King Arthur movies and stuff, that would be Morgana. She's been done wrong, she's been done ugly, she's out for revenge, and she's all out for herself. It's injustice, Medusa, Morgana. Lilith is all ego-driven, soul fire-driven. But she can be very much an ally to help you see your soul fire. But then she'll take it overboard and go into that ego if you don't watch it. Chiron's the wounded healer. He's at the other end of Aries going, why won't anybody just listen to me? These are the things we need to fix. Mars is going over this energy, gonna go into retrograde on September 9th, and then come back over this energy. And that's incredibly powerful because what's directly across from it is make, which most astrologers don't talk about, and Jura, or Jura, however you want to pronounce that. Which also would be technically, let me find it. Yeah, thank you for getting hot and let me know I'm right. Which also would be technically a rune of Jura, which also speaks to you about sacrifice and commitment, because as in astrology, Jura is sacrifice and commitment. She is, when we think of love, we often think of Venus, but Venus is not love. Venus is your sensitivities about how to create better or tell you what's not good. Jura is the sacrifice and commitment that it takes to make a relationship work. She's the one that sticks around once all the ooey gooey, soft and chewy, yay, flowers and stars in the sky disappear. She's the one that's either going to make it work or realize it's not worth it. But as a rune, where are you? If you've been following me for years, I tell you all the time that my runes seem to move around in this book. I'm like, seriously. There we go. It speaks to us of the year, the harvest, the season. It is timing. It is the natural cycles and waiting for the results. It speaks to us of the rune of the harvest, the rune of the harvest of one's efforts. It speaks to us of the points of attunements to the season and the earth and the year. It is the harvest, patience, timing, rewards for efforts, debts paid back, cycle of life itself, the returning energy of energy. It is an outward cycle of natural flow from beginning to end. This is all that sacrifice and commitment that's coming out of the rune, as well as the sacrifice and commitment coming out of the planet itself. Now, what Spirit gives me is this is an incredibly emotionally tempered or temperament week of understanding how to control your inner four. because they also give me Induus. And I like to read them from here because if I leave it out, there'll be something for sure somebody needed to hear. So that's why when I get the runes, when Spirit gives me the runes, I just pull the book out and I let it do its thing. But I went too far. I already saw you once. Spirit is also saying it has to do with divining meaning. The work, the production, the bounty, the groundedness, the balance, the connection within it. Because that's coming out of another rune, but I'm being sent. And it's speaking to us also of understanding the work it takes to ensure the crop to grow. I'm about to get to what that means. Induus is also speaking to us of the seeding. It is the questing. It is the guarding from within you. It focuses on the need to go in and allow that inner nourishment to take place. Stillness and gestation. It is a moment in the process of figuring out the issue. It is the reveal of meditation, of that time of aloneness. It speaks to us of that inner nourishment, withdrawing, allow that preparation to take place, strengthening the inner resources, which is your four: your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, and your physical. And if one is out of balance, then all of them are out of balance. This is coming into your guarding energy, finding that within you, but being able to control your emotions as you do so that you can make the proper sacrifice and commitment that you need as you move forward. Because what Spirit gives me is, and I've said it before, is we're coming into that separating, the toy soldiers from true warriors. This is kind of an all-in energy or all-out energy, and you're going to be noticing this over the next 2 to 3 weeks. You're either all in on it or you're all out. But you need to be able to emotionally detach enough to see what the truth is and find out what your true soul and your inner four is telling you. Your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, and physical. That is a balance which creates your oneness. It is all about commitment to the idea of where your potential is or your fate can take you. Spirit puts it to me this way when I was trying to understand what they were saying. And I use this a lot of times when I'm dealing with people as an astrologer who are coming into like moon phases. And I'm not trying to put anybody down, but there's definitely a difference in completely understanding, especially if you do like witchcrafting or if you work with the moon phases, of being elementary, high school, or truly a professor. This is where I'm getting at, and I'm going to explain this to you. Because Spirit is asking, well, you are what you commit to. But if you say you're committed to something, but truly you're at elementary school level, then you're really just lying to yourself. There's people who, I like to put it this way, as in, don't be mad at me if I've spent my time and my homework doing my work and I'm able to achieve and get where I want to go because I've been putting that time, that effort, that commitment, that sacrifice into it because I'm all in, versus someone who's half-assed in and still at elementary school level. There's the difference, and I'm not saying I am. I don't believe in masters. I believe that once you say you're a master, you're ultimately proving how much you missed the mark, because we are always learning. However, there is elementary school level, there is high school level, and there is, more of a professor on that level who's still learning as well. And I put it this way because, you have those people out there who want to do their full moon rituals, who want to do their new moon rituals, their whining or their waxing rituals. And that's great. But how much do you really know about what you're doing? And the reason I'm saying this way is because if you know that full moons are all about release, surrender, and let go, and you're going to do a full moon ritual about that, but you're not competent to understanding what planets are talking to the moon and what sign and what they're, they're having conversations with, trining, sextiling, squaring. You're just going, I'm going to do the full moon ritual and release, surrender, and let go. You're not really on a professor level. You're not on a high school level. You're on an elementary school level. And the reason I'm putting it to you this way is it all depends right now on where you're putting your all in. Are you putting your all into the sacrifice and commitment of what you're trying to grow? And are you able to emotionally detach long enough to see the truth all the way across the board so that you're making the right decisions? Or are you going to be the toy soldier who ran out and fought but isn't skilled enough to make sure he survives? This is where Spirit gives me that elementary school, high school, professor level. Like I said, I don't believe in masters. I believe that we are always still growing. So that is kind of the energies that I'm being given from Spirit. This is very much an energy, like I said, before Mars goes retrograde on the 9th, for you to finally tune these things and take that catapult in the right direction, because it's there. But if you're going at a situation from an elementary school level and you're taking it to someone who's at a professor level, they're going to slap you back down and into your place right now. You have this week as we enter Virgo season. I always say Virgo is that 6th house. It is the people, places, and things of energies that you consume. A Virgo used to be just the idea of the detail-oriented energy, and it still is. But let's not forget, the regular star now has moved into that beginning energies of Virgo. And the sun is illuminating this energy as it crosses into Virgo. At the beginning of this week. You may be feeling it throughout the whole week, though. Regulus, the Regulus star, is and has been considered the heart of the lion. It's recently, in the last several years, moved in its direction of how things work out of Leo, the lion, and into Virgo. So Virgo isn't just anymore about detail-oriented energy. It's the finger pointer, the troubleshooter, the health and diet. It's the one who's going to really finely tune the situation. However, the regular star here now has brought the heart of the lion into that virgin energy. And it's going, if it doesn't support my heart and my soul, my destiny, my potential, my soul truth, then what the fuck is it doing here? Then we can go into all that detail-oriented shit. The sun is illuminating this energy as we pass through this weekend and into this week, because it's going over that regular star. And it is going to hit in the gut, in the mind, everywhere. It's going to hit hard because it's the freaking heart of the lion. It's the heart of the courage. The lion, which is that universal 5th house of Leo, which we're just coming out of, is the ruler. I say this all the time. It's the ruler of our astrology signs. It is the king of the jungle, but the king of the jungle is the ruler of the jungle. And I say this all the time. If you don't like the way your kingdom is, it's time to step it up and be a better king or queen. You just put the heart of that king or queen in the detail-oriented Virgo. And the sun is illuminating what it is you need to see so that you can make the proper decisions of what you need to get rid of. Like I said, it's all in or all out. But making sure we're doing it detached enough so that we can truly find what our heart and soul is telling us is right, where our potential needs to take us. Now you have Lilith, Eris, Mars, and Aries, which I've already been talking about. It's your inner warrior coming home to an insane asylum with Chiron going at the other end going, I'm trying to tell them how to heal it, but they're too fucking stubborn and stuck in their way. They only want to see it this way. So what I call vampire syndrome all the time, when you keep sucking your teeth into something and draining it dry simply because you don't know how to let it fucking go. And this is where you keep holding on to the things that have been injustice. The things that have kept you in trouble, toil, strife, injustice, and not being able to make the proper commitment to yourself by healing thyself. It is directly speaking to Libra energy of make-make. Make-make is the lotus flower. And I explain this all the time. The lotus flower has 3 different levels. It's one of the most beautiful, spiritual, evolved flowers we talk about our soulful evolution. And it grows out of a flippin' swamp in the dirtiest, dingiest, nastiest place. So the idea here, when we're looking at it from astrology point of view, is, are you still in the swamp and you can't see the light for shit? Because that's all you're choosing to see, as it goes right back into opposition to Medusa and Lilith. Or Eris and Lilith. Or are you starting to break through the swamp and you can see there is an above, there is a below, there is fresh air, there is swamp, there is both of everything? Or are you finally starting to ascend and move yourself away from the fucking swamp because you're growing spiritually? This energy is sitting with Ura. That's sacrifice and commitment. What are you putting the sacrifice and commitment into? To the growth, to the healthiness of you, to the potential of you, to the commitment of you? Are you all in on you? Or are you all in on pointing fingers? This is why I can't do it. Trouble, toil, strife, and injustice, which is actually keeping you from moving forward. Again, you got that Regulus star illuminating, I say in that 6th house, the people, places, and things of energies that you consume. It's part of your everyday activity. It is part of your diet. It is part of your healthcare. It is part of your friends. It is part of your life. There's a difference. Some people spend every day jogging. Some people spend every day on their art and doing, their crafts. Some people spend every day at the bar. The people, places, and things of energies that you consume, aren't you consuming. They're consuming you. So what are you putting that energy into? Now, that make of, are you still in the swamp, or are you starting to bloom, or are you actually starting to spiritually evolve and grow and find what to put the sacrifice and commitment into, is taking place in Libra. That right there is your relationships. And I always say you have a relationship to any and everything you care about. You have a relationship with your car. When your car don't work, you know about that relationship. You have a relationship with your money. When you're not getting the money or you're not working, you know about your relationship and the lack of it. Anything you care about, from your friends, your family, your children, your loved ones, to a roof over your head. Everything, your working environment, your work friends, your friends' friends, everything you care about has a relationship to it. And what is the proper sacrifice and commitment that you're putting into it? Are you putting it into all in on you? Because like I said, September 9th, Mars goes retrograde. And he's directly across from that energy of Lilith. He's directly across from that sacrifice and commitment and that Ura energy in Libra, which is all about harmony and balance. Libra people, I cannot tell you how freaking important it is for you right now to make the commitment to yourself. whether you're sun, moon, rising, Libra. Because this is a major test, especially for you, Libras. It's not just relationships, but for you as a Libra, this is speaking to you about loving your fucking self. Taking a gamble on you instead of making that commitment, that harmony and balance for everyone but you. You're the most important part in the relationship, or the relationship wouldn't be part of your relationship. For all of us. So, in our relationships, are they serving us? How are they serving us? And where do we need to really focus that time, that energy, that spirit on? Like I said, people, places, and things of energies that you consume, aren't you consuming it, it's consuming you. And it defines who and what you will become and where you will go. Now, that making your energy, it's not getting along with Saturn all week. Rules, walls, and boundaries. Saturn's now back in Capricorn. Not to mention, let's not forget, for the next 3 months, Mars is going to be having an issue with Capricorn energy. It's like I said, it's like Mars came home to what should have been the warrior home planet, and all of a sudden it's a magical insane asylum of warriors, feeding off of our negativities. But if you're doing it right, it's telling you where you keep jacking yourself up by that vampire syndrome, where you keep sucking onto the wrong thing. It's trying to illuminate it so that you can bring healing to yourself. That outer world has its own ideas and agendas coming up. Trust me, it has major energy coming up over the next 2 months, September and October. And I'm not even getting on that political level. I'm speaking about it up close and personal in your life and how you're going to create your life around you, because that's what's important to you. It's not getting along with the rules, walls, and boundaries of Saturn, of that outer world. It's trying to put you back in your place, according to that outer world. This is, will you thrive or fail? Will you grow and mature? Are you all in on you, or are you giving up on you? It's sextiling the South Node, which is everything you're good at, but doesn't necessarily serve you in a form that may give you that firepower to stand in your power. But that all has to do with you getting out of ego in order to see it. And it is trining the node, the South Node, Rahu, and Gemini all week, which means it's all about your inner communication with yourself. And are you communicating properly with yourself so that you communicate what you truly desire to create outwardly in Gemini, all up close and personal in your life? All week long, there's going to be a T-square with Lilith, Mars, Eris, which is Medusa. It's not getting along with Jupiter. This is your core energy. Your core energy, and is it able to find its power, its inner fire, its inner illumination, and just enough ego to give it the strength to go for the right new beginning. It's not getting along with Jupiter. It's not getting along with Pallas, Pluto, and Cancer. Abundance, strategic thinking that's going against you, and death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, and regeneration. This is part of a T-square, which is not getting along with Venus. Something is going to be pushing you out of the direction of your comfort zone. And it's important that you embrace it. But you must embrace it with an open mind in order to find out what Venus and Pluto are trying to teach you about something new. Something has to shift here. Something has to change here. The core of your belief in yourself needs to become stronger. needs to become higher evolving, higher dimensional. But there's something in that outer world that's not going to allow it to go through the way you think it's going to. Like I said, Saturn's back in this energy now. Even though it's not in the T-square itself, it's still in that energy. It's setting a new foundation in a new way outside of what you believe is probably possible. Coming up with new innovation, new ideas of how you're going to grow you and where you're trying to take you so that you reach potential and fate. But Venus is going to be in Cancer, speaking to that empath energy, that sensitive energy, that core energy of the inner emotional security, and touching it in very uncomfortable ways, which may feel inappropriate. Just like, why you gotta knock me off my fucking high horse? But that's because it's trying to show you where the fork is. You can go down this way and you're accidentally going to go right back into the same damn cycle. Or, here's where you got to have that courage, that sacrifice, that commitment into not being an elementary school child. And you're growing up. Like I said, this is why I use the moon phases. If you're celebrating, a new moon, a full moon, that's one thing. But if you go at like an astrologer or somebody who follows astrology and goes, well, yeah, okay, so it's a full moon cycle. You're going to release, surrender, and let go. But what are you really working with here? You're working with the fact that, the moon isn't getting along with so-and-so. And in that house, it means this for you. And da-da-da. Are you really skilled? Or are you elementary school going to come at a professor and get the slap down? This is your fork in the road. This is the time to put that sacrifice and commitment into what really is important to you. Decide how and what it is that you're trying to create, because you need that decided before September 9th when things come tumbling down. Not to mention, Uranus just went retrograde. Uranus just went retrograde in Taurus, which is when Uranus is in a healthy feeling way in Taurus, it's speaking to us about our self-worth, our self-value, our self-esteem. It speaks to us of manifestation, of being able to bring to us that law of attraction, of feeling good about ourselves. Well, it's in retrograde now. The only person it's talking to is you about your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, liberation, independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom. And if it's uncomfortable, it's going to get that vampire syndrome of Medusa energy. And it's not going to be nice. It's going to start becoming vindictive, controlling of what it can't control. And maybe it's because it's not meant to. This has to do with learning how to unchain yourself from the chains you bonded yourself to. And learning how to grow up and out of them. So that you can really, truly bring this into a brand new cycle. But you are going to deal with emotional temperament and learning your 4, which is Induous, your inner godding. Have you gotten skilled at it yet? Or is it time to take that inner nourishment, go inward, and take that time too? I love you guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.